Hey folks, it's Kurt with the Powersport Academy, and I'm pretty passionate about this little project called the Powersport Academy. And the last couple of days have been a really great example of why I am so focused on process training for powersports dealerships. Now, over the last couple of days, and if you haven't seen this, I'm just going to put it up. I'm not going to go into it at length, but here we go. Dear valued customers, we are currently experiencing a cyber incident. Out of caution and concern for our customers, we have shut down the majority of our systems. We are currently assessing the overall impact and currently have no ETA. Please know that our teams are working hard to get everything up and running, and we will update as information is available. Sincerely, CDK Customer Care. Folks, that's like 15,000 car dealerships. And, if you've been following me and the Powersport Academy and the work that I do for any length of time, you know that I have decades of experience with automotive, aviation, power sports, marine. And, we're not even going to get into mountain bikes and RV in this talk. Okay. CDK has like 15,000 dealers on that platform. And, a lot of dealers close the doors. A lot of dealers said, our computers are down. Let's just close it down. And it was a holiday yesterday. It was the Juneteenth thing. So, a lot of folks are like, well, let's use Juneteenth as an excuse to shut this down, while CDK figures it out. Well, guess what? It's not Juneteenth today. And a lot of dealers are still closed. When I first got in the car business, I joined I was in sales for a while too, right? So when I was 19, I was in sales. So we used to desk our own deals. We used to do our own F&I. We used to submit our own credit reports. Sales back in the day was full service sales. And so I think about that from the 80s. And then I think about the 90s when I was service writing and we were, carving information into repair orders, 3 and 5 layers thick with carbon copies. For those of you that are younger, CC in an email means carbon copy. And that is because we used to handwrite on paper that had carbon copies, carbon layers. So when you pressed hard enough, it would go through all the paper. So you had to press really hard and you had to write really fast. And I used to have really great handwriting. And then I became a service writer and I had to write 50 ROs a day by hand. So, folks, this is my point. Process training is what drives success. It's what to do when you can't do. It's, what's the foundation of this? How does this work? How do we succeed? How do we meet customers' needs when our number one tool might not be available? That comes through training, anticipation, muscle memory. And when I see dealerships shutting down because the computer doesn't work, that's a very, very strange situation for me. Now, you take these, high-level dealerships, you take these high-functioning dealerships with good managers and good leadership teams, and they go, bad news, computers are down. Break out that box of manual ROs. Let's get started. Salespeople might dip into service, take a look through some of the ROs and go, oh, here's someone I can call real quick. See if they want to, consider a trade-in. We can already appraise the used car. Hey, you know what? Let's do this. I understand for parts guys, it can be frustrating, right? Because you're like, well, I can't use the parts locator. I can't this, I can't that. I get it, but you can still do business. You don't shut down. And here's the other thing. If everyone else in your town shuts down and you stay open, that's how you optimize the opportunity. Because I don't understand. All the other dealers are closed, but you guys are open. We certainly are. Would you like to take a look at this Ford F-150? Would you like to take a look at this Silverado? Would you like to take a look at this Nissan Titan? I thought I'd just run through all the trucks. Why not? And you're watching this now and you're going, it says Powersport Academy. Why is he talking about car dealerships? Because it all trickles down. It all trickles down. If you're a motorcycle dealership, there's a really good chance that you're running on Lightspeed. So newsflash, who runs Lightspeed? Okay, let's start putting some dots together. What are you going to do when Lightspeed just shuts down one day? We are headed towards some real, not just yellow flag, but some red flag moments. When they start talking about central digital currency and they talk about constant hacking and they talk, I mean, Facebook can't, how many times do you get hacked by a friend in Facebook, right? Oh, I got hacked. Don't accept any invitations from me. If Facebook's getting hacked, what keeps your dealership from getting hacked? What keeps Lightspeed from getting hacked? And so you have to have a backup plan. You have to have that parachute. You got to be able to pull the ripcord and be ready to go. Now, can it be frustrating? Can it be intimidating? Can it ruin your day? Can it ruin your week? Yeah, but not destroy it. If you close the doors and you do zero revenue, that's destroyed. If you close the doors and people that are in service can't get updates on their vehicle that's currently in service, you've ruined that relationship with that customer. They expect you to be open. A computer closing down is not the same as a tornado knocking down your building. You might feel like it is, but it's not. It's not the same. And so here I go again. Every time I think that I'm going to pull back the reins a little bit on the Powersport Academy, a reason like this pops up and says, this is exactly why we have the Powersport Academy. How do we get sales, parts, and service to work well together? How do we increase our processes in the service department so that we can increase efficiency, productivity, and profit? How do we keep the average customer from calling the boss's cell phone to complain about sales, F&I, parts, and service? It's from working on relationships and putting processes in place that meet people's needs and help grow the business. So that's what we do. That's what we do at the Powersport Academy. We put together a boot camp. We ran a 6-week boot camp. Oh gosh, it was a month ago, 2 months ago. It started about 2 months ago, right? So we did a 6-week boot camp, and I wish it was full. I wish I could say there were so many people that wanted to come to the boot camp. I had to run a second one right away just to take care of the demand. I wish that was true. But by and large, the people that own these dealerships, they're focused on surviving the day. They're not focused on optimizing the next quarter or the next fiscal year. And because their mindset isn't where it needs to be, they're not focused on those long-term growth plans. Whether you do it with the Powersport Academy or you jump into some kind of Six Sigma training or you go to some, leadership kind of thing locally, regionally, or you consult with me, there are steps that you can take to grow, to become consistent, to lay the groundwork for your boots on the ground so that your general manager, your sales manager, your parts manager, your service manager, that everybody can start to, I'm not saying be best friends, but I'm saying they can start to work cohesively on customer relationships and retaining that customer and working on customer retention to the point that your business is steadily growing instead of this weird ebb and flow thing that you've got going. So that's probably long enough for me to chat about this. The big thing for me